for watching. All right, so hello to all. I am Mark Stewart Greenstein. I campaign as Stewart for Liberty, and I'm campaigning not for myself. I'm on ballots in a bunch of states, but that's for the sake of being a stalking horse to get candidates who are better than me, better speakers, more telegenic, taller, doing hopefully somewhat of the same thing, which is opening up more slots and maybe not even opening up, speeding through a window for ideologically good values. A window that is opened up because Republicans and Democrats have gone off to the edges, leaving what I call a huge, wide, fat lane for candidates for State House, even Congress, to run in. You who might have considered running for office but got stymied by your party's orthodoxy or the seniority within your party. Democrats tend to act with seniority. Got to wait till that 68-year-old is done, and then they open up chances for the 25-year-old, and then the 55-year-old gets kind of locked out. Oh, you missed it. Republicans, I don't think they have such a hierarchy of seniority, but running with them, there's often an orthodoxy. You better adhere to their values, and you don't have much leeway. You want leeway. A candidate should be her or himself. And I am announcing that there is a huge, wide lane. I'll make an analogy. Ever on, say, a 4-lane wide highway, you're driving in modest traffic, you like to go faster, and suddenly things open up for you. Cars have gone left, cars have gone right, and you've got a middle lane or even 2 lanes through which to just speed through. Some of you can't see me. If you can't see but hear, I am wearing red, and I don't love red. I'm in a red shirt to announce that there's really a siren going off, that you could have so much running room, you could even have the red light atop your car and speed through with the political situation right now. So I'm identifying it. I'm just identifying that not since the 1820s, when we had only one political party, has there been so many lanes open on the political side. And who has it been brought to you by? Not me. Brought to you by, first, Democrats, whose leaders have abandoned middle-income families, who have abandoned family values, who have abandoned fiscal sense. Now, this is the leaders. I don't contend this is true of rank-and-file Democrats. I am one. But I can't adhere to that far-left strain. And with the far-left movement, it leaves that lane for you. So, lane 2 opening up on the right. And that's because Republicans are leaving open a huge gulf. Some because they cling to the far right, and some because they cling to Trump. So wherever he is, they have to go. And look, that's not a huge criticism. It's in part because they cling to Trump, because to them, the alternative, the only other party is so odious. So there's realism by some still idealistic people inhabiting the Republican Party. But what does it give us? The best opportunity in, again, 190 years ago, in the 1820s, when there was only really one party, but fragmentation ensued very quickly. There ended up, by the election of 1824, 5 parties. And then there was consolidation, and one Andrew Jackson emerges by the end of that decade to really found the now biggest and longest running party, the Democrat Party. From fragmentation can come some very good results. The Democrat Party has been the most influential party in our lifetimes. Of late, though, Democrat Party's leaders have been influencers for bad. You have lanes to influence for good. And might get elected at the same time. It's a double good. I'll give another analogy. NASCAR. Nice to run fast in your car. And you might have the car with the fastest engine. And as long as people get out of the way, you're going through to victory. Media, they're not in that race. Now, they might have been the pace car. Pace car moves off to the side. Media are maybe on the sidelines waiting for a crash. Some media, unfortunately, are in the pit crews of your competitors. They are in the pit crews speeding along the far right and the far left candidates. And by the way, why do they get so much attention? Because far right and far left have mediagenic messages. Remember, it's the old, if it bleeds, it leads. In newspaperdom, well, even in Twitterdom, if it's extreme, it gets more covered. If it's modest, moderate, sensible, but takes 4 minutes to explain instead of 280 characters, it gets pushed to the wayside by media. So the media do come and cover the front. And if you become a racer in the front, you got a lane in which to race. I'll do one more analogy, and it's to swimming. It's actually the sport I tend to really dislike. It goes back to high school, by the way. Hey, I didn't like swimming because it was a combination of strenuous and boring. I didn't like either of them. And then to cap it off, I had 2 friends in high school who were swimmers. And because of the damn schedule where they have to get up so early, I couldn't hang out with them. Friday night, 9:30, I got to go back home. Why? I got to wake up at 5. So that was the blight of swimmers in my life. I will take this analogy, though, to swimming lanes, okay? 8-lane Olympic pool. The best lanes, physically the best, are the middle 2. Why? Because when you're in the middle, you have a wake that drafts and upsets those to your left and to your right. Ladies and gentlemen, the independent candidate, the one who will make her or his own wake, actually might cause trouble for the others. The others might have a harder time keeping up in your turbulence. I like that. I want people to run in races and at least start some turbulence. And as far as those lanes of an 8-lane pool, go from left on number 1 to right on the number 8 side, you got lanes 4, 5, 6, and 7. You might even have 2 and 3, because I contend that the far left is not highly populated. Yes, the leaders at the far left get a lot of media attention, but I don't think that's a highly populated lane either. The lanes are open. Take advantage. You, if you ran for State House or Congress, wouldn't be constrained in a party. You wouldn't have to sacrifice orthodoxy. You wouldn't have to take one for the team, which never works out, does it? Okay? Taking one for the team usually means you get hurt the most. So I'll conclude by saying you could take a party. We now have one. It's called EPIC. E-P-I-C for every politically independent candidate. EPIC is really a faction. It's not its own party yet. It is a part, if you want it to be, of your current party. You want to stay Democrat and be a portion of it, as I am, good. Want to stay Republican? You can do that too within EPIC and maybe influence other Republicans for good. Now, in some ways, you do have a party. They haven't discovered you yet if you're running, but you have the largest party, the Independent Party, because nationwide, independents are the largest group. Among young people, it's not even close. It's like 50, 27, 23. So, lots of running room. Joining EPIC, you'll have a lot of voters waiting for you. We have a website, www.epic-party.us. Not built up a lot yet, but hopefully built up with candidates. Maybe you pass this to some of your friends. Within this, you are not constrained, though. Again, pick your actual party line. Epic's not going to demand exclusivity. Pick your issues. You have the freedom to race the way you want. You won't have elders. You won't have orthodoxy. You won't have take one for the team. Oh, and if you're Republican, you won't have Trump, who is stymieing a lot of people who might otherwise vote Republican. So at least temporarily, consider Epic as a way to be your own self, attract conservative voters, and not be tied. Attract independent voters, not only because you're the best choice, but you're the one who is making the right waves. I'm here to help. EpicParty.us. I've kind of co-steered in some primaries so that there's a little more attention, but it'd be great to have you guys on board too. Thanks for joining in. Really helpful of helping out. Take care. Have a good morning.